Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, it's time to discuss another Godzilla X Kong sequel idea that I've had. And if you were watching this, then you might have already seen the prior video that I made, Godzilla X Kong Destroy All Titans. If not, I'll leave it in that little upper corner little thing you can tag, and you can check that one out, and I'll see if I can leave it at the end of the video for you to click as well, maybe even put it in the description, but it's on the channel. This one is not a Destroy All Monsters type. This one is something that a lot of us have talked about, and if you had asked me about this several years ago, I would have said no. I would have said absolutely not. No. Now that we're in the direction that we're in, and I know what I'm going to get in the comment section.
But Rob, you know, Adam Wingard said that the next movie he wants to make it more serious and more Godzilla-centric.
Yeah, I know that. I know that's what he said. That doesn't mean that's what we're getting, all right? The studio still has to decide, and I got to be honest, I don't really see them going back to a more Godzilla 2014 kind of tone. I just don't. Not to say that they won't, I just don't think it'll be as successful, because I think people are now conditioned for the type of movie we got the last two monsterverse movies. But I digress. This scenario, alien invasion, something I was completely against a couple of years ago. If you're a veteran on this channel, you'll know that I was completely against this idea. But now I kind of see that they're somewhat leaning in this direction. Aliens have come up, or any kind of extraterrestrial life has come up quite a bit in the last couple of movies. And now that you take into account King of the Monsters, obviously Ghidorah was a space monster. While they didn't harp on this very long, it was mentioned, it was confirmed. You get into Godzilla vs. Kong, you got all this advanced technology suddenly. Bernie at the end of the movie talks to Mark Russell about his having a podcast discussing Area 51. Then in Godzilla X Kong, you got Bernie once again talking about aliens, mentioning ancient aliens while he's filming the crypt leading into, or the temple rather, leading into Mothra's location and the Iwi. All over the place, even on his computer screen. If many of you haven't gotten a chance to see, if you look at Bernie's computer screen when they first show him, this is when Irene is coming to see him. It shows 2 podcast episodes about Planet X. So, I mean, the breadcrumbs are there. They've kind of been going through, they've been dropping breadcrumbs since King of the Monsters. Now, while I believe this is the least likely of the scenarios in terms of a sequel, it's something that I think is feasible, and I think that I wouldn't be surprised if they did it. So this, I believe, could play out many different ways. A lot of people want the Zillions. Some other people talk about bringing in another Ghidorah. There was I can't even remember if this was from the novelization. I can't 100% even remember where I heard this, so if anyone knows, mention it in the comment section. But there was a story, I don't know if this was even considered lore or if this was a fan theory, but I'm going to mention it anyway, just because I still think it's something that they could probably play into. But there was a story that the Ghidorah that came to our planet was actually like a lesser Ghidorah, and that they were kind of banished from their home, for lack of a better term, and that there may be another Ghidorah out there. So you could leverage that, or you could just find another reason to bring in a different Ghidorah. There's no rule that says that the one we got in 2019 has to be the only and solo species. There are many different forms of Ghidorah, even in Toho. So that's one option. The other option is the Zillions, and this is again, even if they did do Alien Invasion, I think this one's unlikely too, because this would be another IP that Legendary would probably have to pay for to use in their movie. But it doesn't matter whether it's Zillions or any other alien race. You got an alien race who's taken notice that these powerful creatures live on planet Earth, and they may be coming to try and take them, or they may be coming to, destroy Earth or take over Earth, and then they run into these monsters, and they happen to have their own monsters. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. You can just have a straight up monster alien invasion. Maybe it isn't Ghidorah. Maybe it is another. Maybe it's a new monster, a new Titan that Legendary develops. That would be cool as well. But I do think, considering Planet X, and I do think that the Planet X things are. I'm not saying that those are sure shot breadcrumbs directly leading to a sequel. They do a lot of like little Easter eggs that don't necessarily mean they're gonna jump on that. You know, we got a lot of that in King of the Monsters. King of the Monsters, we had a whole ending where paper clippings of Mothra egg, which we never saw again. A bunch of other stuff that never really played out. So, but I do think that this is probably the only other thing that would be a big threat. You know, I mean, yeah, you could, everybody talks about, you know, even me, talk about Destroyer, but assuming we don't get other Toho monsters, you know, how does Legendary make another huge threat that forces these monsters to come together? Alien Invasion seems like, to me, the next step. And then once again, you got to look at the technology jump in, you know, in the monsterverse. I'm not saying that they have been secretly planting this for a long time for the purpose of making the sequel. They've even said these movies are done. Another one is usually done based on how the prior one does, which means no work is done on any of these sequels until the prior movie is officially a success and they can start planning out another one. But considering how balls to the wall the franchise has gotten, considering all the different, you know, plot elements, narratives, Easter eggs, and breadcrumbs that they've planted in the movies, there's so many different directions you can go. I think it's just a matter of who in the writing team is going to have the light bulb go off and say, hey, why don't we just do aliens? We got this, we got this, we got this. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, we did pyramids smashing into each other and flying monsters, you know, all monsters fighting in a gravity field. Why stop there? And they'd be right to think that. I mean, the movie's been a huge success, and people have pretty much more or less accepted that when you go to a Godzilla X Kong movie within the monsterverse, or any monsterverse movie, this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get complete and utter crazy shit with paper thin story, and it's gonna be a roller coaster ride. So what better than to make that roller coaster ride something like Space Mountain, you know what I mean, and just do aliens. So yeah, I think that's a potential direction. I do think it's the least likely, but I wouldn't rule it out at this point. Like I said, 3-4 years ago, I ruled it out completely. Now, I don't really rule that much out, considering what they've pulled off the last 2 movies, and considering how positively audiences are responding to this. You know, when you think about the old cheesy Showa movies, all you ever remember was just how funny people who weren't fans thought they were. Yeah, they liked them, but they thought they were goofy and corny, and I do too. But at that time growing up, I was like, oh man, I love this. This is such good stuff. So I don't know, but I think there are many different directions you can go with aliens. It doesn't have to be the Zillions. It doesn't have to be Planet X. It doesn't even have to be another humanoid alien race invasion. It could be a complete monster alien invasion. And that would lend to my thought that I felt after this movie, which was, and I've said it many times, it kind of feels like they set up like an Avengers type group of monsters. You know, it was a very happy ending with the monsters coming out on top, and you had Shimo joining Suko and Kong in the Hollow Earth. You basically had Godzilla go back to sleep, and he's chilling, and Mothra is out there now. So that's, you know, 5 monsters right there. That is a team of monsters. And the only thing that could threaten a team of monsters in the Earth is a mass invasion. So, but in terms of detail of this idea and its plot and the monsters included, we will see how the vote goes on Friday night for which of these ideas you want me to flesh out. So be sure to be there Friday night for the poll and for the live stream itself. And like I said, I have like maybe 2 more of these. One of them I'm definitely gonna have out before the stream Friday, so it may be out tomorrow or it may be out Friday. And then the other one is actually one I've done before, But I think there's good reason to bring it back. And for those of you who've been on the channel for a long time, it's the one that I made up, or the one that I talked about a couple of years ago regarding Destroyer and Biollante both being in the movie at the same time as villains for Godzilla, Kong, and the rest of the MonsterVerse monsters. So I'm probably gonna revisit that one, throw the idea down, and then try and rehash it on the stream. So but anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Come by on Friday, keep your eyes peeled for the next couple of videos discussing sequel ideas, and let me know in the comment section below, would you like an alien invasion type movie? And if you did, what kind of sort of things do you look?
I know, Toho monsters, I hear it all the time.
Let's try and do something fresh, something different. All right, anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys next time. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.